Welcome to Comic Run. This is the podcast where we go get comics on our lunch hour and talk about nerdy stuff. I'm Justin.
I'm Kent.
I'm Matthew.
You're Matthew this week. Sophisticated.
More formal.
So Deadpool will be rated R.
Deadpool will be rated R. There was a teaser clip on YouTube where they were interviewing with Mario Lopez.
Ryan Reynolds was being interviewed by Mario
Lopez.
He was the interviewer.
AC Slater was the interviewer?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Did you not watch the clip?
No.
Oh.
I totally missed it.
He's interviewing him and he's like, oh, so you're going for PG-13. So
well, no, he's like, all I know of Deadpool is from the X-Men Wolverine movie. And Ryan's like, yeah, pretty much not the same character. Like,
yeah, we're not doing that.
And then he's like, and it's PG-13, huh? That's really awesome for you to keep it kid-friendly and
family-friendly for the toy tie-ins. And he's like, well, I wouldn't say family-friendly. And as he's talking, you see Deadpool walk behind Mario Lopez, pick up a giant studio light, and then just dash his brains out with it.
And then it says...
He just hits him in the head and knocks him out of the chair.
And then it says, like, don't be an idiot, kids. He's like, of course Deadpool will be rated R.
No, I believe he says, F you, Slater.
Oh, yeah, F you, Slater. No, he says, F you, Slater, or what is it, don't worry, don't worry, Jesse, Slater can't hurt you anymore.
And then he's like, Deadpool's gonna be rated R. And he holds up a hand-drawn crayon poster that says Slater and then the ears.
Did you guys see the Saved by the Bell skit that they did a while ago?
Oh, Jimmy Fallon, yeah.
On Jimmy Fallon?
I didn't watch it.
It was
precious.
Insane. Hey, I know the set wasn't like amazing for Saved by the Bell, but the fact that someone could,
recreate it
for just like
for a one shot,
couple of chuckles, couple of giggles, just glory.
Well,
pure glory.
Speaking of recreating stuff, with the Flash this week, they had the Tricksters, which is Mark Hamill, and they remade, or somebody found it. I can't believe that they would keep it. Mark Hamill's old costume.
Yeah, did they fabricate a new one, or did they just find the old one and put it back on a dummy?
Yeah, which, why would you keep that from a failed, Flash?
Did that show run for only one season?
I think
one season.
Yeah.
One or maybe two. I think it was just one.
And just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep this. This is mine now. or did they have to assign somebody like, hey, it'd be really great if we had the original costume. Hey, go out and find all of these 80s, 1990s. So
we need 100 pairs of those weird pants the MC Hammer wore. And we're gonna cut them up and
polka dot, neon green polka dot.
And we're gonna cut him up and make a suit. He's not the Joker. He's the Trickster.
Well, that was the other thing, is that that was all pre his Joker, right? So you could see. So he was actually recalling.
It's like Joker beta.
Yeah. So it was all of his stuff was recalling a way more sensible Joker.
Yeah, he didn't dial the voice as far up as he does with Joker.
Well, yeah, but still, all of his the mannerisms of just being
it's the cackle.
Yeah, or not even the cackle, but just the they gave me cable, so I'd stop killing the guards. That whole, it's, I guess if you weren't familiar with how the lineage went and that he actually played that character earlier, you'd be like, oh man, he's totally
this rip off.
He's ripping his own Joker off.
A lot of people don't know he's the Joker. People are always like, who's the best Joker? And I'm like, Mark Hamill, and they're like, no. I'm like, yeah. If you could pair that voice with the one from Dark Knight, Hamill's voice sells the Joker for me way better than the I see magic trick. That one's unique. The Christian Bale Joker is unique in its own right, but I still don't feel it's the be all end all. Hamill laughing at the top of his lungs.
Well, that I feel like the Christian Bale, the Heath Ledger Joker, is it both a cut of The Killing Joke, but also of Under the Red Hood.
Yeah.
That whole when he breaks the glass and stabs a couple of guys and he goes, all right, but I'm gonna need new guys. These are all dead. That whole, and then all right, yeah, let me out, and I totally agree to do what you want me to do. And then he gets out and kidnaps the people that just released him and decides he's gonna set them all on fire.
Yeah. I get that they needed to ground the Joker more in reality because the Nolan trilogy there's no supernatural elements and there's almost no they want to get away from the crazy supervillain thing. So even Scarecrow is a more believable, you know, a psychiatrist with some sort of psychotic break, not this whole. Not everybody has a crazy tortured backstory. I fell in acid and bleached my skin thing. You know, it's just we don't know what's wrong with Joker. Nobody knows who he is. He's brilliant and also crazy, but you know, they didn't get into the he electrocuted a guy with a joy buzzer thing.
By the way, I watched Batman this weekend with my son, and who's 8 months old.
So he didn't really retain much, huh?
He didn't. Well, no. What had the sad thing, the like, oh God, what have I created? Is that in the scene where Joker and the mimes, you know, kill the cops and then stab the, you know, hey Vinny, it's your Uncle Beano. Time to pay the check. So Michael Keaton walks up to the thing, and Joker looks through him and goes. And Henry gets super excited, goes, bah!
Bye, Joker.
And I'm just like, that was the first time that he ever laughed, or not the first time he laughed, first time he waved. And I'm like, oh God, apparently Henry is now thinking that the Joker, friend.
Problems with children.
So Batman, yeah.
Batman. That now. If you haven't done it, you should load up the Fat Man on Batman
the
podcast,
commentary,
commentary, and watch the original.
I listened to that when I was finishing my basement. I listened to the commentary without the movies.
I did that
because I've seen them all so many times.
Yeah,
I can just.
But he does bring out some really, really good points about Keaton's Batman's kind of an awful Batman. Like I'm gonna rough you up and then just let you go. Tell your friends, Batman, business cards. In town.
The one thing about that movie that like always gets me is the Bullock character, you know, who should be Harvey Bullock, is
but it's not, is it?
No, it's Lieutenant Eckhart, and like just.
I'm surprised that they haven't made a Lieutenant Eckhart.
But the blatant like.
Maybe there is.
Okay, we have to rip this dude off from the books or from the comic books, but like let's not name him the name that he should be named. Let's change it. Just kind of a spit in the face to the.
How long has Bullock been in the comics? Is he like original character, or I mean, Bullock and Montoya kind of. I don't know. I probably started seeing them around the.
He was
late
right.
90s, early.
Well,
2000s.
He was in the first episodes of the animated show.
Right.
So I mean, I have to imagine.
That would have been high school for me.
91, 92.
Yeah.
But we're talking about 89 Batman, so.
I mean, it would have been right afterwards.
I think Montoya is. I think she might have. Was she also an animated series creation?
Yeah, she had like second season, maybe something like that. She came in.
I think her and Harley Quinn are the two that
came out.
You know, started appearing in comic books after that.
Yeah, they're that. Harley was the first successful crossover character from animated to comic. Like where they were accepted and imported back into the universe without somebody going, that character's lame, animated series is dumb, there's no blood.
Yeah. Who was
certainly from her early beginnings where there's no blood to, you know, sexy nurse Harley Quinn,
Juggalo Harley.
Man, Bruce Timm.
Pretty dramatic change over the years.
Mentioned a few things about the animated show about how like the FCC, they'd come back from the FCC and be like, well, you can't actually show the body falling on top of the car. Look at what if we did an inside shot of her dad's reaction when her daughter falls on the top of the car? Oh yeah, that's fine. Like, that seems way more traumatic and worse. No, we're good.
I need to see the director's cut of Batman Beyond because there are some things they changed. I saw one of the clips when Joker kills the big guy in the tutu. Yeah. Or no, it's the which one? He kills one of the Jokers with a Z, and he pulls the gun out and then he shoots him. The guy's like, "I'm just kidding, man. It's cool. You're the boss." And then he shoots him, and it's just the bang flag. And the guy's like, "Oh," and he's like, "See, I was only joking." And then in the director's cut, he pulls the trigger and it shoots the flag through the guy's chest, like bang flag sticking out of his chest.
Well, no, that happened at the end of the show with when the actual death of the Joker. That's how the actual death of the Joker took place.
And in the edited version that I had from 96, 2000, whenever Batman Beyond came out, he gas gunned him with the Joker gas, and then he just laughed himself. You just saw him with the rictus grin. But in the edit, yeah, I guess Tim shoots Joker instead of electrocuting him. In the edited version I saw, he trips and gets caught in wires and he's standing in water.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they
later released the uncensored director's cut that had more violence.
Yeah, the only one that I've ever seen is the one where he shoots him in the chest and he goes, "That's not funny. That's not funny at all," and then dies. Yeah,
the one I saw, he tries to kill Robin, and Robin shoots him with the bang flag or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he gets caught in the wiring or whatever. He slips and he gets electrocuted and he laughs himself to death.
Same exact ending as the guy from Batman 2, the crooked businessman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just getting caught in the wires. Max Shrek. So switching to other nostalgia.
Making out with a taser.
All right, switching to other nostalgia.
Did you guys watch a lot of the X-Men cartoon when you were growing up?
No.
Minimal.
No.
Couple episodes.
Huh. So no 1990s X-Men love there?
No, I liked it. That was kind of one of the first comics I got hooked on was X-Men during the Age of Apocalypse stuff.
So
after.
Let me ask an associated question in that case. How do we feel about Jubilee? Did you guys see the announcement that she's going to be in the new 1980s Apocalypse X-Men movie?
I think it's cool. I like Jubilee as a character. Maybe people hate her more because they didn't like the animated series, but I actually liked the book Gen X when it first started, and then it kind of got awful as it went on. Mm-hmm. But Generation X was a fun comic that was doing new stuff when it came out. Now it's horribly dated,
and this is the last one with Wolverine, right?
They're saying that Hugh Jackman, he just posted a thing on his Instagram or his Twitter or something that said "one more time," and it was him with the claw in his hand. Now I want to go down and turn. Yeah. Okay. So I don't think he said that he's done. I don't know if is it like there's a contract thing and they need to renew him, or is he just tired of playing Wolverine?
I think we're just going to keep him going until he can play Old Man Logan.
Well,
I'll go see it.
Well, I think what needs to happen, because he was going to be in Spider-Man.
They wanted to cameo him in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But
so
licensing.
I think that he totally willfully dressed up as Wolverine to go to Comic-Con. So it's not like he doesn't love the character. What, he's been in seven movies, I think.
Right.
So I think that more than likely, he'll be the center focus or a main part one last time. But I could totally see them focusing on somebody else, some other X-Men, and then be like, "Oh, Dr. Xavier's school," and just have him in the background. Right.
I still think when they do any of the upcoming MCU movies, they should start sprinkling cameos liberally more.
Logan, do you want to go on a helicopter? No, I'm going to sit here and read my magazine. Okay, love you.
Just him walking through with a beer in each movie from now on. We could even just do it digitally.
Have you guys seen the last couple of episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I haven't seen this week's. I saw last week's. And I'm caught up on Flash.
So the cabin that Sky is being held in is the house that Banner built. So not only is it a place where Steve Rogers, but it's also the one where you saw the Hulk training at one point. They do this cool reveal where there's a giant fist behind one of the wall panels, like an indentation of where the Hulk punched something.
Nice.
Awesome.
So all right, so you mentioned Flash.
Yep.
Do you think that they're going to, with the whole time travel thing? I was really thinking about this.
Gold. Booster Gold.
Booster Gold.
If we're gonna do time travel, Booster Gold.
Well, my thought is that there's this big point of 20, where Flash disappears in 2020, right?
We know that Reverse Flash says he's from 200 years in the future.
Yeah. And so there's that whole thing that centuries.
And we don't know if the newspaper's from then or from our near future. We don't know if it's a scan or if it's a future hologram newspaper. Or I don't think there's a year on it. Has anyone zoomed in on a freeze frame?
I thought that they said that there was. I thought I saw that there was a year. But even then, when he was talking to the original Harrison Wells, and spoiler alert, spoiler.
Wait, I haven't seen the last episode.
Uh-oh. Then we have to stop.
Okay, so all right, not talking about that episode, but
sorry, we'll cover this next week.
Well, no, all right, so not yet, but we'll talk about the time travel. So there have been multiple mentions of stuff far in the future, like 5 or 6 years into the future of Flash. So, do they resolve all that in this season? Like,
I'm betting it's going to be an ongoing arc. It's going to be like how in Arrow, they kept coming back to the book. Oh, there's new stuff in the book. Oh, I never figured out the book. The book. Then the book was a clue for the secret organization. And so I think they're going to, even if they resolve most of this, who killed his mom, how did the Reverse Flash get here thing, I think the future Flash is going to be unresolved issue for a while. Like, why would the Flash of the future end up 15 years in the past, and where did he go from there?
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see Barry travel back to save his mom this season.
Yeah, that's my question.
I think he's going to get more questions or more answers on the way to that. But I'm guessing because we don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because they do, especially with the new follow-up series that's going on.
Which they haven't told us what it's going to be called. Like,
what's the follow-up series?
It sounds like they're working on a Justice League or Justice Society.
That's awesome.
But not any of the main characters, not any of the actual.
It's like Atom and
Firestorm and Vibe.
I did see a Hawk Girl casting news, but I don't know.
I can't remember if she's in her own series or if she's for this series, but they're gathering a very unique pile of weird characters for that.
Yeah, and like that's supposed to be happening in the next year or two, right? You know, that's supposed to be coming up to coincide. So it'll be interesting to see because they could potentially, you know, he could go back and alter something, and then there's this great recon. I guess interview movie documentary that was made in the 70s, I think. 80s. It's got to be the 80s. When did Dark Knight Returns comes out? 80s. And it was just at the right time to interview everybody. So, like, Bob Kane is in it. And comic book people. So, like, the very early, like, the, and somebody's going to shoot me, but who created Superman?
Joe Siegel? Joe Shuster?
Yeah. You know, the interview those guys, but essentially the guys that were working for like pennies, being like, we wanted to put them in the newspaper, but then we realized that some people were just buying the newspapers for the comics, so we figured, hey, we'll all get together and we'll put it in one book, and then we'll sell that for as much as we were selling the newspapers. You know, there's like that, like those guys, but then it's also.
And the great thing is, they all did have that kind of New York accent because that was the era.
Or like, and then the other one is just people walking in and being like, "Yeah, I always wanted to draw comic books." So, I walked into Marvel Studios with my portfolio. Stan Lee came down and I showed it to him, and Stan Lee's like, "All right, you get to pick one off the. Go ahead and just pick a comic book off of the wall, and you can work on that one." And it's like, okay, I'll take Nick Fury. That's how I started working on Nick Fury. Like, that's how my run of Nick Fury started. Like, what job does that work anymore? Like,
pick any desk in the building. You can take one.
I want to be CFO, and that's how I became CFO. But
I don't think that works in industries other than comic books.
But
I don't think it works in comic books at this point.
But they interview Frank Miller like right after he did Dark Knight Returns.
I want to be Batman with fists the size of hams.
Well, he just says one of the things he just says. Yeah, he's like, you know, I've been reading Batman since I was 8 years old. Batman was always a father figure to me. And then
that's not a good choice.
He's like that. He's like, then all of a sudden I realized I'm turning 35 and I'm going to be I'm going to turn 30 and I'm as old as Batman. We can have that. And so like it's actually pretty good, but it has this all like it's his. I'm a creative genius at the height of my career, sort of aspect to it. Like, Batman's angry. Batman's gonna kill. Like, you know, but it's
razor batarangs right in your faces.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Well, you know, when you take it this far, he's like, I don't think comic books should be stagnant in time. I think we really need to know what Superman's gonna look like at 70. You know.
Nobody wants to see that.
Well, I mean, that book still sells a ton, so, like, people do. Just saying. But yeah, just,
I Arguably, that's Superman.
Whenever people talk about old superheroes, like they want to see, let's see, you know, it's Banner when he's old, it's Batman when he's old. I always think of SpongeBob with Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy sitting in the nursing home. Hey, away!
So good segue. Sieg into that is, did you see that they're going to do a 66 cartoon? Batman 66 cartoon? No. And, yeah, they're doing a Batman 66. Adam West and Burt Ward are coming back as the voices of Batman and Robin.
That's going to be weird.
Yeah.
Is Julie Newmar or Eartha Kitt still alive?
Eartha Kitt passed away.
Yeah.
She passed away.
Our family will always love her most is Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, the lever, Kronk. Why do we even have that lever?
But, yeah, so they're going to come back and do the voices for... Great job, you've done it again, Batman.
Ugh.
Or,
I don't know that I want to watch that.
Or hang on, Batman, I'm gonna patch you into Bruce Wayne. He's on the other line. Oh, hi, Batman. Oh, hi, Bruce Wayne.
Hopefully it's not that level of camp.
Oh,
I've got my bad shark spray up here in the helicopter, along with what other aerosols did you need that you packed in your helicopter?
I know I listened to the commentary as we mentioned earlier about Batman on Batman to the Batman and Robin, and like them tearing that apart is just so rich. Of like, well, I mean, the formula says Batman Forever was kind of campy and did really successful. Let's go extra campy and be extra successful.
No, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Bat skates. Batman playing hockey.
I freeze. God.
Well, they said that like one of the Arnold will only he only has one fight scene, and if you watch, it's not actual any fighting. It's it's much more of just moving around, because it was ooh, well, we're gonna pay you $2 million. If you want me to throw punches, it's gonna be at least 4. Okay, well, you don't have to throw punches. It's fine. It's fine.
We'll give you a freeze ray. I want to know whose idea it was to cast him as Mr. Freeze, because if you pulled a comic out, any comic with Mr. Freeze, and flipped it open, you'd be like, he's a skinny bald guy. Wow, there's any number of those. Most of them are good actors. Patrick Stewart, he's just coming off of Next Generation. He's probably affordable right now. Nah, let's get Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Cold as ice. He's actually...
Chill out.
You know, he's on Reddit a lot. He's a super...
Yeah,
he likes... Upside, I mean, we wouldn't have all these wonderful little things that we could throw out in Arnold voice if he wasn't Mr. Freeze.
He,
when my daughter was very small and we were teaching her what do the animals say things, we taught her some things that were fictional and some things that are just pop culture, but one of them was, what does Arnold say? And she'd just go, ah, cold as ice. It's because my wife hates that. Got my hand, and she's like, don't do that, don't ever do that, I hate that. She can't watch the old Arnold movies where he's doing that.
Jingle, so Jingle All the Way, not a holiday film for... Oh, God.
Nate does that voice really well.
The Arnold voice.
The Arnold voice. He also did the Predator, click, click, click.
Speaking of Predator, I saw some guy playing Daisy, the zombie sandbox game. Mm-hmm. So he found some people, he had night vision goggles, and he's out in the woods and he sees a campfire because they throw up a pretty big signature on the goggles. And he's like, oh, let's go see what's going on. And he's just griefing people, being a butthead because he's got too much gear. And so he sees these two guys out in the woods. They've got a campfire lit and they're probably healing up from something earlier. And he sneaks far enough out that the fire's not going to light him up. And then he proceeds to, he's got a soundboard app and he starts throwing out Predator noises. The scream and that trill noise, that ticking noise. And when you hear the guys on the chat go, did you hear that? What the hell was that? I don't know, nothing in the game does that. And they're like, somebody there? You know? And then within a minute or two, he's going around their camp very slowly in the dark and triggering these noises. They start just blindly shooting into the dark and completely freak out. So he runs up on one of them and stabs him, and then disappears back into the woods. So the one dude turns around and his friend's dead, and he's like, "It's the predator!" You know, like completely losing his cool.
That's how you get negative reviews and you like, there's a predator in this game and it's not okay. It's not what I signed up for.
It's the episode of Archer where they're in the jungle and Lana goes, What are you doing? And Archer's just looking up in the trees and she goes, "Oh God, you're looking for Predator, aren't you?" She's like, "Well, he's invisible." And he goes, "There's a telltale shimmer."
Speaking of that, Jesse Ventura is in also in Batman and Robin.
Oh no.
Which was probably like, come on, I need more.
And Congress.
Come on, help a dude out.
You do me a solid? Put me in Batman? Always wanted to be in Batman. Yeah, everybody's in this movie. Well, you know, it's a magic formula. Each movie you add one more villain until the cast is unmanageable and it's a horrible train wreck. Then you reboot.
Then you get Christian Bale.
And it worked so great with Batman that they went ahead and applied that formula to Spider-Man movies.
God damn it.
Till you get douche walking Spidey.
Douche walking Spidey. I am looking forward to seeing where that all goes. I was listening to the dude who does all the stuff with Mark Bernardin, the guy who does all the stuff with Kevin Smith. I totally botched his name. Hopefully he never sees this.
I think, is it Bernardine?
Bernardine, yeah. And he wrote the original article of like Donald Glover should be Spider-Man.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was him.
Well, no, he wrote like, does Spider-Man have to be like a white dude? Like he wrote that whole controversy, and somebody like brought in below that, like, you know who would be
he writes for like E or somebody, doesn't he?
Playboy. He writes for like Playboy and like Esquire and
maybe it was Esquire. I was thinking.
Yeah, and so he wrote that whole article, and then somebody in like the comments posted like Donald Glover, and then that's where that whole thing blew up.
Hashtag.
Yeah, and then I guess I always thought that like when people recommended Donald Glover that they were just citing Miles Morales.
No, that led to Miles.
Exactly,
Morales.
And I didn't realize that. And that the dude who wrote the comic was like, "Fuck this! There should be like an international, there should be a."
Which I take issue at because I think Japanese Spider-Man really can speak to us all.
You really just want to see the giant Mac. Oh, speaking of which, Ready Player One, Spielberg's gonna direct it.
I thought we commented on that.
Oh, we did talk about that last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, super excited.
Or terrible, but I'm still gonna go see it.
Well, Spielberg's man, he's formulaic now. I mean, I think much like George Lucas, he's surrounded himself with people that like not like George Lucas in the fact that he knows how to properly utilize people, but like, okay, hey, I want this sort of this type of film, and I think that this is the sort of thing that we need.
He's got a crew. He has a posse.
Well, he has a vision.
One product and does it well.
Yeah, he has a vision. He is a vision guy, but he can walk in and go like, okay, so when we do this scene, it needs to be dull and like dark, and it's not going to be in the virtual reality. So like, let's kind of put this bluish haze tint on it, and let's just make this. And the guy's like, he has a dude that's like, on it. I know exactly what filter we're going to use.
Tell so and so I want him to do this. Tell the music guy this is what I'm going. Because he's been in the industry so long. It's just.
Yeah, so he kind of has that like. And they're not going to do it on a shoestring budget.
Yeah, it just tells me it's not going to be a fly-by-night. Like, they're not going to wing it. They're not going to take crazy, dumb liberties with it. But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be a good movie.
What was the other thing I was thinking? Oh, speaking of, I'll go see it regardless of whether it's terrible. Mad Max Fury Road. Did you see the new trailer?
Yeah.
Electric guitar, flamethrower, crazy man? What has that got to do with anything? But I was like, all right, let's do this. You can have my $8. I will go see this movie. I mean, just judging by the dialogue to explosion ratio in the trailer, I will be entertained. The script may suck, but I'm sure it'll be enough explosions worth to get me through.
I really hope that I really hope that when the asteroid comes and hits the Earth, and there's massive chaos and earthquakes and volcanoes erupting and everything goes to shit, that we move into a Mad Max sort of situation. Because, like, I just...
Because that's the best case scenario.
That's the best case. Well, I mean, if you think about it, we're going to have this already, like, half-destroyed communication system of being like, no one panic, the police are going to be there. And then I walk into a gas station with my gun and be like, well, I'm not paying for this Gatorade. And the guy's like, hey, police, this man just stole a Gatorade. And I'm like, listen, we are dealing with so much other shit right now that we really can't deal with petty stuff.
So this really just revolves around your need to steal Gatorade?
No, I'm just saying that, like, all of a sudden...
That seems really petty in the face of global catastrophe.
Well, like, that's the thing, is that everybody's going to be, like, the police, if the people in police care about being police, they're like, I'm not getting paid. You know, like...
I'm not taking a bullet for a Gatorade.
At what point do you start wearing all the leather?
Depends on the weather.
It's like week 1. The power hasn't even shut off yet. And he's like cutting old leather jackets together to make his face mask.
Well, it depends. I mean, the asteroid
Kent rules Bartertown. Gatorade is free.
We could get knocked out of orbit, and all of a sudden it becomes really cold. At which point, I'll be wearing more leather rather than less leather. But if we get pushed into a situation where it's getting pretty warm, I'm thinking day 2, day 3. It depends on whether or not the roads are stable enough for me to go.
I'm just picturing every winter when the lights go out for like an hour. Kent's like, he's got a razor out. He's doing the crazy Catwoman from Batman 2. He's just stitching like a madman
Justin,
out of old raincoats.
Justin, I'm prepared, man. I already got the suit tailored. It's just in the closet, ready to go.
Do you have like a breather, like some kind of filter, Borderlands style?
Oh yeah.
Psycho mask.
A little Bane action.
Bane action.
You think Gatorade should be paid for? But I have another plan. Sir, your gun's not even loaded.
All right, now that's just complete.
That is a Nerf gun, sir.
Nobody cared who I was till I put on the mask.
And stole the Gatorade.
I'm just telling you, man.
That's how society starts to fall apart.
Petty law will not be enforced. This man's not paying his taxes. He needs to be evicted. Does he even have a house anymore? We can't deal with this shit.
Do you already have like a little person on retainer to ride on your back? Like, is that part of your plan too?